Hello boys, my name is Koyoshi and welcome back to my special walkthrough, or kind of, well, yeah, we've been doing this for a while. Basically my walkthrough of Pokémon Legends Arceus for Nintendo Switch. In the last episode we left off doing some more bonus stuff, and more importantly we got done a couple of things. More importantly, clearing all of the requirements that required us to use, more specifically, evolving requests, and yeah, we got done all of the, I keep forgetting, yeah, it's mass outbreaks, that's what it was, and so we now have some other special stuff to do. They actually recently added yet another request that has to be completed. All of these are optional, but I like doing them. The reason why I found this cipher is because I noticed it has a good nature that works well for this. So we're going to keep this Kelvar for a while and actually start by boosting its attack right off the gate, right out of the gate, right off the bat here. Or I guess not necessarily right away because the attack is already on. I'll give it some initial defense just to help out since I have so many of the weak grit dusts. And then we'll just work on boosting its attack power up. So we'll do that. We'll go ahead and just use it up to 10. Get some other stuff. In case you're wondering why I have these other Pokemon in my party, it's specifically for the Path of Solitude. In one of the last videos, we found out that there is a new request that we could do that may allow us to do stuff, but anyway, I found out that I need some stronger defense and other stuff, as well as good levels with some of the other Pokemon, so I'm going to be grinding alongside the other Pokemon as I catch them. And I'll just use all of these to make it quicker, but not actually pull up any moves. But yes, I'm going to do that, and in one of my last videos I mentioned I would try and complete through the Pokedex, and I always keep on forgetting to do so. I'm not going to necessarily focus on everything today, but I will be focusing on big important stuff that actually requires catching. So we'll start by catching each individual Pokemon first, as well as defeating his particular Pokemon multiple times in order to get the moves we need. So I'll start by actually going over here and defeating this Alakazam with the Dark type move while I'm at it. But beyond that, this video is going to be specifically for working on the Pokedex, because as we are learned, in order to actually get the best ending, you actually need to get all the Pokemon anyway. Not necessarily the full dex completed, but the Pokemon has to be caught at least once. And because I'm also going the extra length to also complete the full Pokedex in hopes of maybe getting the quote-unquote best ending of the game, I will also have to get the full data on all the Pokemon as well, which is part of the reason why I'm doing other stuff. I like how I'm 94 and I still get outsped by Alakazam, mainly because I have max stats on the Samurai. He will not be defeated as easily. And yes, I fully buffed up, using grit items, the stats of tons of my different Pokemon. So I now have tons of stats with all of them. And I'm starting to grind them for other stuff. I will probably still remove them at some point. In fact, when I can, I probably want to get rid of Magikarp at some point. That being said, there's one particular Pokemon I've been going for a while. More specifically, Bashdodon, which has kind of eluded my capture for a little bit. So what I'm going to do is immediately return to the village and then go 2 locations based off of what Pokemon I have not immediately caught and try to finish those, but also simultaneously finish captures of other Pokemon that I haven't done yet. And if I can't find that Pokemon, then I will look to my guide to figure out otherwise. But beyond that, we're trying to get everything completed, as far as I know. Beyond that, the rest shouldn't really take that long. Roserade I need to defeat with flying-type moves, but I know where that is. Oh, Petilli I also just recently discovered as well how to get it, and it's quite obnoxious, really. I have to go to Cornet Highlands, which is also a mass outbreak area, so the massive mass outbreak, rather, might take the location of one of the other Pokemon. Speaking of which, I may still have to search around these, so to, like, get that into mind, let's actually use some of our Aguav berries to figure out if there is anything that's new in particular. Alright. Let's see here. We have Unknown over here, which I already have. Yanma, which I already have. Hippopotas, which I basically completed. Tingala, which I could use a bit more on, but basically completed. Rhydon, I think, is the one I'm gonna go for. And then we have Swinub, and I guess some Roselias as well. I already have a good Roselia, though, so I don't really need that much. As for any involving the Path of Solitude, unfortunately, didn't really get much other than that, so we'll start by actually going to Brave Arena very quickly, since we do need to complete Rhydon's Pokedex entry still, which involves using, I believe, a couple of Water-type moves, so we're gonna deal with that first. Okay, and now we'll go in. If I remember correctly, there's gonna be probably at least a Rhyperior, and now time to get free teamed by them. Not sure if I should have battled this ready at once, but it's fine. We'll be alright. Oh yeah, we have a lot of defense too from the other stuff. One big thing I wanted to do is increase my defense to as much as I possibly could. I'm gonna target this one since he just used Giga Impact, so he'll be stunned for a little bit. That'll allow me to get a free move on him and defeat him right then and there. But yeah, a bit scary. Many times I always forget that you can easily get defeated. Oh, speaking of which, there's the Rhyperior that I mentioned earlier. Alright. Unfortunately, not much else that I can get on it in terms of data. It'd actually be easier to just catch it at this point. So that's what I'm gonna do. Oh, it's an alpha as well. Okay. I'm definitely gonna try and get it when I get a chance. Depends who gets to it first. Oh gosh, he's right in my face. I'm gonna have to battle him. Now the animation's delayed by that. Okay, thankfully the big one decided to peace off for a second. Okay, but now it's got to the ball first. We obviously have no time to check it, given how many Pokemon there are. So I just have to throw the ball and hope for the best, and we got it. Nice, alright. Well, that's good. And this one catch should now deal with the other one that... Ooh, hello. Okay, what else do I need? Either I defeat them with other stuff, or I defeat them with Ice-type moves. Catching them seems a bit difficult, even for me. And studying it using items, it only really gives 1 point, so if I really want to do this quickly, I should defeat it with Ice-type moves, which my Samurott should have one. So we'll just battle it, and use Ice Beam on it. I probably should have added Ice Beam on it sooner, but for some reason I thought that Dark Pulse needed something extra that I thought was cool. But really, I feel like Ice Beam is probably better than whatever else I was planning on having. I did put in Night Slash as well. Not sure if I'll defeat all these Pokemon, but I did make sure to capture at least one, so I would get closer to defeating stuff. I guess, well, now I think of it, I should continue going. Because if I get lucky and another one of those boys spawns up, or better known as the additional massive mass outbreak, which might spawn after defeating ours, then I'll be able to get other stuff. So I'll just use this time to defeat more of them with water type moves again. Now Rhydon can be gotten through leveling up and evolving as well. I just didn't have enough time to do it, so I chose to do this instead. To be fair, I had to complete his Pokedex entry one way or another, so I probably would do that briefly before taking on Roserade. Okay, no, he's vanished. Alright, he's upped and vanished. We have to find the other character we need ourselves. Does Roserade still appear in these conditions? That's the real question. I don't think so. At least not in this particular condition. I completely forgot it was also nighttime. Well, I need to rest till morning, which will probably get rid of the massive mass outbreak, but I didn't see anything good that would help us out anyway. Okay, alright, it does keep the mass outbreak, at least for now. There's another new request. I just realized, because this is a new game, they probably add more requests as they do other stuff, so I'm not sure if I will go for actively completing all requests anymore. I initially said I would do that, but then I decided it might be better to just go through and defeat them regularly anyway, instead. Alright. Oh, that was flying type moves. Wait a minute, what am I doing? I had to defeat at least one of them anyway, but whatever. Oh yeah. Right, I need to get Lilligant as well. I might wait on that though, because there's another request as well. I don't know what happened, but what I did, but there's yet another new quest. Oh wait, this is the other specific one. Now I remember. Because Iridia and I don't even know how to say this. How again, Yoshi? I felt your presence nearby when I was playing with you. I came to play for the Diamond Clan so they can hear the melodies my clan holds dear. But seeing you reminds me I've learned more about the Lustrous Globe. It seems to hold the power to transmute Mighty Palkia into its otherworldly form, if you can believe that. Listen, I want to battle Mighty Palkia. Okay, so she requests a battle with it. I want to prove to myself that when the Pearl Clan worshipped Mighty Palkia, thinking it was already so, our belief at least was real. Please help me do this. Use the Lustrous Skill to chance Mighty Palkia and bring it along to battle me. Oh yeah! Okay, so this wasn't the one I thought it was. It was actually... This is one of the 2 battle quests that is left. Well, actually, there's still way more battle quests in the terms of just the Path of Solitude, but on a different note, I do still need to get other stuff, and I guess I may as well show you what I've been doing. So, because of Path of Solitude, I've been kind of forced to wait for certain requests before doing other stuff. Not to mention, it seems like they are adding even more requests as it goes along. Just when I thought there were more, it was over. They unlocked yet another request later. But if you actually look at my request list, I'll say right now, because I haven't really talked to them, I think. Yeah, it just has Roselia and Magikarp's Path of Solitude. So this was actually supposed to be the rest of them, but they added more. Oh, boy. Well, I'm obviously not right. But anyways, I'm going to look for a specific one. Alright, so before I do anything, I need to look at and make sure that I have a Patilli set up. Goodness, I cannot talk to the right character, it seems. But yes, one of the things I was going to try and do is get all of the different Pokemon. And one of the ones I was missing for a while was Patilli. Or more specifically, its evolved form, Lilligant. If I can, I'll probably have to find a mass outbreak with it if I just recently got rid of it. Because I didn't know that this request was here. Initially, I'd moved Patilli thinking, oh, it was not really that useful because, well... By the way, I'm probably not going to do all the Path of Solitude requests, just putting it out. But if enough requests comes up, I might do it. I was just going to check my nature. You see, part of the problem with this is you need a really good nature in order to do some of these battles properly. Because, like, not to mention, it's already a solo battle, which is really hard to do on its own. But then you add in the extra fact that you also have to defeat it with other specific moves. It's so annoying. Okay, we can find this boy on Gatejaw Blog or somewhere else, I forget. I'll just go to Gatejaw Blog first. The way it shows in water tells me it has to be in the water, because it would be kind of silly to go otherwise. But beyond that, not much else we're going to be doing here. Sorry if anybody wanted to see something else. But the big thing we're trying to do here, the big thing that we're trying to get done is, the, extension of the different areas. Well, not, I guess, yeah, more specifically, we're trying to, of course, fill up the Pokedex, which is a big thing. Trying to, oh, I did not see what alpha that was. I'll briefly come back to it later. I need to look around the water area, see if I can't run into a Wishcash while I'm going here. Wishcash generally prefer the rain. Also, I should have checked what its conditions were. Okay, it's everything, alright. Don't have to worry about that. I also realized something. I could have easily used the storms as a way to manipulate tornadoes to appear by default. Because when you get a massive mass outbreak, that's Barboach. I do not need a Barboach. Nor do I need that Barboach. So I will just peace out. It might be easier to get on a different spot, but... Oh yeah, but you know what? Let's just go to Lake Valor. It has a much better spawn there. It could potentially appear in Gatejaw Bog. I'm just saying it's probably very rare. Yeah. Oh, goodness. Alright, let's check here instead. Now we're Barboach. Lots of Barboaches here for some reason. We need to take it out with a grass-type move, which is why I'm preparing Gallade, who has the Leaf Blade as an attacking move. Again, just another Barboach. The reason why I'm checking this area is simply more open, and it'll be much easier to find. Yeah, this is a normal one, which tells me it might be rarer than I thought. But we need to defeat this guy with grass-type moves. That's why we came to this. We're gonna defeat a bunch of Chavs. Alright. Oh, there's the Alpha. I was wondering, because I could have sworn there was an Alpha here, but I could not find it. Now, as a water and ground type Pokemon, he gets completely destroyed by grass type moves, which is probably why it went down in one hit. Alright. Alright, let's see here. It should be warded enough because I learned that anything with the up arrow on it means it'll actually improve the research level by 2 rather than just 1, which makes completing certain Pokedex entries much easier. And then we have Tangrowth. We kind of just have to defeat its alpha version, mostly, with poison-type moves. Oh boy, we don't really have much poison-type moves, but we might get some later as we train up some of our Pokemon to do other stuff. One of our Pokemon actually has to learn Venoshock, so tell you what, actually, hang on. While I'm waiting, one of Rosalia's moves that he needs to use for the list is Venoshock. If I just use that, I think I can defeat it. In fact, even better, let's also give it Poison Jab. Because I forgot I'm training this. I'm training this Rosalia for the Path of Solitude, so I figure may as well get in a quick battle before anything else. Alright, so Wishcast should be done now, but what else do I need that's in this area? That's not in this area. Oh, Yanma, I actually missed it. Exactly one little bit. We need to defeat it with Rock-type moves. Nah, I'm probably not going to find it here, though. Let's go to the next one, which is a Powdon, which we need to defeat with Ice-type moves. Alright, that's what I'm going to do next. I did not think of that. Oh, actually, there's a mass outbreak of Yamba. If I catch exactly one of them there, I could finish off the Pokedex. Yama is another one where you'll get more effects by catching it than battling it, usually. Got exactly one, which should be enough to fix the problem of not having a lot. Did not mean to zoom in there. That happens sometimes. Alright. But yeah, so the basic thing I'm going to do, it might take a little bit, but I'm trying to complete the research entries of all these multiple Pokemon that I'm trying to do, and I'm going for a Powdon next, which was I discovered in very deep in the Scarlet blog, so that's where I'm going next. There's actually 2 very close together satchels I can pick up as well, so I'll put them up while I'm here, and otherwise look for one of those big boys. Oh, I forgot Enamus is also here. I'm not interested in it just yet, but as you can see, this is where Enamus appears. Unlike the previous version, you do not have to chase it down. It spawns in any rough condition, so Enamus will always be there. And just like before, I have to hit it 3 times with our stuff. Unfortunately, Enamus also has other stuff to make it more annoying. In fact, its least favorite thing that really makes it annoying to defeat is one of its counterattacks is E-attack that makes you confused. So, little to everyone's not really big surprise, just like Pokemon can get affected with status moves, for the first time in this game, so can yourself as well. If you take certain moves from certain Pokemon, you won't always be able to recover easily. In this instance, it has a move that affects what's called Confusion. Confusion basically does the exact thing as it does in a regular game, making your quote-unquote confused, which causes you to kind of wander around rambly. At least you don't hit yourself in confusion potentially, but it's still really annoying. And then poison and paralysis, oh, those are the worst. If you get anything that like damages you a lot, particularly frostbite and or poison, if you keep trying to fight that particular Pokemon, then different things will continue. Then you'll continuously take damage, being unable to heal between the battle, because usually when you take damage from a battle and you're in the regular arm, you can usually heal it after a set time. With poison, it just keeps on going worser, and if you don't retreat after a set time with poison, then you can die really quickly. And of course, taking too much intentional damage will black out and cause you to lose bunches of items. So any Pokemon that's poison in particular, we have to be very careful. My guessing is we have to evolve this Pokemon in order to actually get it. Oh, it's one of those again? We can get Ursaluda, but we can only get it by evolving it in the night of a full moon, and it has to be Ursaring that uses it. Oh my goodness. Well, that is a big ouch and a half. In the meanwhile, I'm gonna go through Gudra next because one of its reports requires me to catch it. So we can get that done really quickly as well if we just go to Coordinate Highlands. Sorry if I am jumping to multiple locations, but I do have to try and complete the Pokedex. This might not necessarily include getting some new Pokemon, in case you didn't already notice. Alright. But right, I need to remember that I need to look for mass outbreaks of Petilli or lots of Ursaring spots, since I'm probably gonna need that for another quest. That same mass outbreak is still there. So once you complete Daybreak requests, mass outbreaks can appear literally anywhere in the entire area. They'll take the location of regular outbreaks, which will cause multiple characters to appear rather quickly. And of course, these big stores accompany them whenever it happens. Hello, Luxray. That is quite an interesting place for an Alpha Luxray to be, but whatever. Fortunately, I've already basically completed it as it is. If you're wondering about how more Pokemon I have left to get in terms of regular stuff, if it was just getting each individual Pokemon, then it wouldn't be as long. In fact, I've already gotten quite a few. I think the only ones left now are the evolution ones, the alternative guys, and I guess more specifically Enamorus and the other legendaries. But beyond that, I don't know what else. So that's partly why I'm doing this. I'll just battle this boy to get him out of the way. What in the world? Hate that. Sometimes I'll just feel like you stayed. What? Oh my gosh! What is going on? I'm literally right in this guy's face. I should not. How close did I have to be? My goodness. I've never had that much of a fail when it comes to getting in a literal battle. Which is bad, because I find it kind of important that I get into this battle, because if I don't, yeah, problems will happen. I'll probably have to do a double setup, or just do the regular Ultra Ball and Go strat and hope for the best. Okay, did that. Okay, so it did like that fake discovery thing where the game told me that it discovered me, but for some reason it didn't regress onto me right away. Okay, now it's starting to smarten up a bit. I think it knows something's up. I'm trying to get it to go in there. Ah, I'm guessing it doesn't do stuff there. Okay, for some reason I could not figure out exactly what it's supposed to do. So it's either catch it that time or redo the whole thing afterwards. But we got it. What do we need for him? Just number caught, basically. Not much we can do otherwise. Oh, we'll just catch another Steelix, I guess. I know I could also defeat it with fire-type moves, but in order to really do that well, I need to first catch it. Now, of course, Steelix we have to use the alternative trick for. By the way, if I say, like, alternative trick, what I mean is instead of using the grass as a hiding spot, we have to use the secondary spot instead. Which involves hiding behind a rock instead, which is much more tedious this time. And we still have to deal with other random Pokemon getting in our way, and of course if one of them aggresses. And with this setup, it's very easy for one of them to arrest onto us. Not to mention, like, as ever, Steelix seems to not really like doing stuff a lot. At least when it comes to alternative stuff. I just realized sometimes the whole music itself will sometimes outright stop when it gets caught. Is that like a sign that it's getting caught or something? I don't know. It's just the music suddenly interrupts, so I was wondering. Now, as for Rhyperior, I still need to get it defeated a handful of times, which is what I'm trying to go for right now. Only enough that won't complete it, so you know what, I'll just catch its alpha form. Alright. Okay, Rhyperior's located at Sacred Plaza, which is again around the area that I need to go anyway. Might be a bit lower though. Might be a bit lower down. Oh yeah, that wasn't even the main area. This is Sacred Plaza. Because there's only one spot it could be, it's probably also going to be the alpha form of it. Got it. I'm actually kind of surprised that when I Hyperion or other time, the first one I found was also an alpha, which is quite rare for it to be like that. Alright, now we got it to look. Again, it's nowhere close to the spot we need it to be, so we'll have to just do that. Oh, completely. Somehow it fake missed. Ugh. It supposedly hit him, but then it bonked off, which also told me that it literally saw me the moment that I decided to finally take into account stuff. Which means, of course, I'm forced to do the reset trick. For those of you who don't know, there's a reset trick in this game where you can intentionally reset the aggression that Pokemon has towards you to not have it see you by just running away and then immediately reappearing, which gives you more chances to catch it using the Gigaton Ball technique. The big problem with it, of course, it was nowhere near the spot I needed it to be. Because you first have to get it at the right time, and it also has to have its back turned, which doesn't happen very often. And if it's not facing the right way, then when you go to actually do the tactic, it'll sometimes spot you immediately, giving you no time to run. Oh, that time we didn't even hit it in the back. Ugh. Twice I've had to reset it already. Sometimes you get these guys really quickly. Other times you just get super unlucky and are forced to reset the same thing multiple times just to get the same Pokemon and a chance at getting literally the same Pokemon. Yeah, and then you have other random things that could deal with, like, for some reason, some Pokemon will sometimes just see you really easily. Not to mention, they'll see you by default anyways if you go to hit them and they've already finished their food, which can happen as well. There was a chain lane here. But where is it? Must have hidden somewhere. Okay, it's not here. There was a chain lane here at first. The world is it? I have been hiding behind a tree. I should have probably taken that chain lane because I saw it on a different spot and then completely forgot to just go for it. I know this is a new one that I probably haven't gotten much at all. Let's try to catch it with the heavy ball strat. I didn't use a lot of heavy balls, so I fear I should probably try and use that a bit too. Alright, good. That's one of the new ones. Now we have Bonsly, either located in Cloudpool Ridge or Celestial Ruins, and both of which are probably incredibly rare. I'll actually check right now to see if it has specific effects. If I remember correctly, it's probably... Oh, I was about to say, Bonsly you'd think would prefer not getting wet, but... They say that, and it says it appears during all weather conditions, which is kind of odd, considering Sudowoodo is infamous for not, getting wet whatsoever. So you think it would hate these rainstorms and not want to go out one bit. I I guess you'll learn new things when it comes to Pokemon sometimes. Yeah, Sudowoodo we already completed. Bonsly we still need to get. Bonsly very well could be the rare Pokemon of this bunch, given how it seems like every single other Pokemon appears instead. I'll look to see if it also is found during other stuff. Oh, it can also apparently leap out of ore deposits. Okay, well, that gives us another thing to look forward to. And I guess this box might work too. So you know what? Let's do a quick battle with this Gilgar for no reason or an hour, and then hit that box and maybe it'll appear from that too. Yeah, the box is kind of shaking, but what is actually going to be inside? I don't know. It's a Voltorb. Hello, Voltorb. What are you doing here? I'll just use Ice Beam on it. Alright. Oh, also, according to the setup, Bonsly doesn't really appear here a lot, but apparently it only appears mostly when hidden in ore deposits, which makes sense why it's kind of difficult to find. Because how would I know that it only appeared in ore deposits? Because if it had not appeared in ore deposits, then I probably would have already found it by now. Okay, well, I'm going to focus on that next, because that is the Pokemon I need. And yes, I did check. One of its goals is to have it be seen leaping out of ore deposits, so since I don't really know what to do, I'll probably just find all the ore deposits in the area and see if I can find one. Of course, it might be one of those rare ones as well, though I think it might have some more stuff going for it. But anyway, we can't just hit all the ore deposits, obviously. We're gonna look for the shaking ones and hit them, obviously. We should probably wait as well just to make sure the massive mass outbreaks don't get in the way. Not saying that they're noise, just they might get in the way if the Pokemon that we're trying to get for them is the wrong Pokemon. I don't know. Initially I wanted to save some of the requests for the special Pokemon until later, and then I kind of just decided not to, because, well, given those are all basically optional quests within optional quests anyways, and as far as I'm aware, the Ernamus one is the last one left. Okay, that is not one of the Bonslys, or can't be one of the Bonslys since it's not shaking by default. So we have to look around checking these at random, since we obviously don't know where exactly it's found until we find other stuff. And so I don't know where it is, I'll kind of just blindly search around the areas, see if I can find it, as well as see if I could also find a different Pokemon as I go along. Depending on where I go, I might catch Pintilles as well, if I find one. Did not get knocked down, okay. I was just checking it, making sure that I got other stuff. Okay, I already defeated it with a lot of stuff. Alright, I'm running away from this boy. Alright, first attempt. This is why I initially avoided it, because initially I thought only Gravelers could appear from these. Or at least I've only seen nothing but Gravelers. I really don't need to defeat them. I'm just gonna run away from them. We still do need to see stuff leap out of ore deposits and other stuff, so I guess I might check the shaking trees while I'm at it too. Though to be fair, I initially stopped that because I was annoyed because the same Pokemon was just appearing constantly, and I was starting to worry that I might not even find any whatsoever. In fact, it wasn't until later that I learned that apparently the reason why Cherubi was one of the rarest Pokemon is because there were only 2 spot trees it could even appear in to begin with. If the game had told me about that a bit sooner, maybe I could have figured out a counter strategy for that, but, well, how am I supposed to find a Pokemon that only appears in 2 zones? Yeah, that's a bit rough, if you ask me. While we're here, though, we may as well hit all these trees. See, this is why I stopped hitting it, because I usually got nothing but Burmese. Because they're kind of pointless to just kill over and over again. But you never know. I guess early game it's something you want to make sure that you hit all of them to try and catch. But once it gets to the late game, yeah. Not always sure if you want to hit every tree, but of course, when you figure out suddenly that Cherubi is one of the harder Pokemon to get and only appears through that, you basically have no choice but to hit everything. Sorry if this last part might be taking a little while, but when you try to hunt Pokemon, yeah, it gets really difficult. So I'll try to balance it out a little bit more next time, but we'll see here. I'm actually determined to not leave until I get this Bonsly to appear, wherever it might be. Of course, finding a shaking deposit is hard enough on its own. Finding one with Bonsly, now that's where the difficulty really that's annoying. And yes, fun fact, I didn't even find Cherubi in the same area as before, because when I initially found it, it was not in the initial area I found it in, which was the City of Fieldlands, or the initial area it spawns in, never City of Fieldlands at all. I found it in what was Crimson Mirelands in this specific tree around, well, not here, but necessarily, but very close to where a different place is. Actually not even there. It was in, I found it in freaking well, away in Cornet Highlands somehow, which was probably incredibly lucky. It probably almost never spawns there. So the fact that I got it to appear there is quite lucky, and I accidentally battled this boy instead. I might just run. Oh, and it has a runaway policy. If I just run, it'll run away anyway. So I'll run away so it... Oh my... Oh, okay, there we go. Now we actually hit the tree that I wanted to get. I'll run away from the Burmese and Travelers because no point in really good stuff. We've practically already finished Burmese main request as well, which is see it leap out of trees multiple times in a row. Oh, we need Vespiquen. I know Vespiquen's request wasn't fully complete yet. It's just gonna run away. I don't know what to do. I'm gonna just... At minimum, I'm gonna lure Vespiquen a bit more, sir. So I can check... Oh wait, we already got it. Whatever, we'll throw a random ball, try and catch it. While I'm here, I guess I'll try and catch it. Alright. Went for that one instead. Even after all that, it didn't count as a back hit. I swear, I feel like I hit him in the back. Sometimes I feel like you hit them in the back and then they just don't etch for some reason. Also, that's the first time I've apparently count the alpha because it also turned into a heavy species. Okay. But yeah. Still looking for that shaking ore. Ore deposits, by the way, are much harder to check than trees because there's no real clear indication that one of them is shaking. Oh, there's one that's shaking right next to the area where Turtwig normally spawns. Except this time I don't think it spawned. And its buddy Paris is getting in the way. I'm just gonna use Icy on it, screw it. Let's get rid of that. I forgot Turtwig also spawns here. It's probably already gone. Maybe not. Okay, well now it's back. I just need to catch it once. So let's do that first. And then throw this boy at him. No Bonsley, of course. Trying to get Bonsley to appear. It is technically a new Pokemon, so I do want to actually try and get it on screen if I can, but it's not easy to do when you're having to do other stuff. I will say probably the most exciting part of the playthrough is when I actually defeated the bosses. I'll just throw that out. Speaking of which, I still need to get some good Ursarenes. I found out from another setup that I believe there is a requirement that forces you to, or one of the new Path of Salty requests makes you use Ursaring anyway. Well, more or less it's evolved for Ursaluna, so I figure we're gonna try and I'm just gonna... Okay, I need to lure it over. It's way too far away. I need to first get it close. I find it interesting, some of the positions you can shake. If you get a little bit annoyed at catching Pokemon in specific angles, sometimes you can just catch them from angles like that. Of course, even if you're high up, if you're not positioned properly as you saw there, you might get seen by other Pokemon, and that's what makes catching these alphas so annoying sometimes. Okay. Oh, this is a Petilli area. I forgot I spam caught a lot of these and then kind of just left them. Let's fix that. Let's... I don't know what I did there. Oh, we got a double battle because we waited. Alright. It's kind of odd that Kumi looks like a water type, but it's just dragon type, funnily enough. Alright. Okay, Burmese trying to fight back a little bit here. We'll go ahead and defeat it. Oh, I got a lot of leopard berries from that. Nice. I don't find leopard berries as useful for their original use, which was to have a Pokemon use it to restore 10. Oh my gosh, I think I've just completely forgotten to throw balls properly. That's what it is. Ugh. I'm sorry you had to see this, by the way. This is just pretty shameful gameplay. This is normally not a hard Pokemon, but I keep on throwing the wrong thing by accident. You know what? So I'm just gonna switch to the ball right away so I don't forget this time. Then... Oh, okay, it's running away. I was about to say, though, like, for a really good gamer, I feel like I should have caught that Pokemon much more easier, but I keep on throwing a berry and hitting it in the face by accident. Though I'm pretty sure other people have done that as well tons, like, forget you're supposed to use a Pokeball on it. Alright, what alpha do we have to deal with? If that is seriously one of those alpha Hisuian Lilligants, then I'll definitely catch that since I need that as a new Pokemon. Beyond that, I'll just catch a bunch of these, I guess. Of course, once you get into the hang of it, you can catch multiple of these Pokemon really quickly. Without really stopping for breaks and train stuff. It can go really fast if you know how to do the other setup properly, but I think that's enough for now. We'll just end the video right here. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you enjoyed, comment, subscribe, and I'll actually probably try to get that Burmy off Slain, or at least figure out where it is. So until then, I'll see you guys later. Bye.